Hey, kia ora, whānau, how are we? Hey, Michiruki here, aka, after this you might think I'm a crazy man, but anyway, I thought I would share a bit of my knowledge that I have worked out for myself, so I'm only sharing my opinion, alright? But I'll take this off because it echoes. um, Whānau, last week or the week before, I was talking to a mate of mine in Auckland and about the whole virus and the lockdown stuff, and we're having a chat, and this is a mate of mine that I have looked up to for a long time. He's not part of any clubs, no gangs, no nothing. He's always been straight. Very successful man. And he told me about an individual he knows that was young and healthy and had died after the COVID jab. Now, I'm not anti-vax. I'm not pro-vax, anti-vax. I've had one myself. So I've had one jab myself. I've had a lot of jabs, but you get the point. So I'm not anti it. So I'm not, I first heard this and was like, what? Because I had heard it before from people on my social media that, I just never really gave it a second thought. I was like, yeah, whatever, you're just one of those conspiracy theorist bloody people. And then when I heard this off the bro, and that sort of got me thinking like, hey, man, this bloody COVID thing's meant to be here for us to fucking protect us and stuff. The jab. Now, I'm not saying COVID's fake. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'll get to the crust of it. But so I started to look, and I started to look at all materials. So not just stuff that was backed by the government. I looked at stuff that were backed by scientists and doctors as well. It's now the only reason I did that is because you've got to look at the good, bad, and ugly. To every good side, there is a bad side, regardless. There's good and bad in everything that we do. So I started to look at, well, our government here in New Zealand is posting all the good stuff. Why are we not hearing about these side effects and hearing about these rashes that people are breaking out on? Because my wife, she has a rash that can't be explained. And we've rung the healthline, and they said, oh, no, it wouldn't be due to the vaccine. What? Yeah, all right. So I threw a post up on my social media, and oh my gosh, the amount of people that have got rashes, bruises, just unexplained stuff that is actually happening, but we're not hearing it in the media, right? So that got me thinking, like, why are they not telling us about the side effects? Because there's one reason you don't tell another person something, and that's because you're hiding it. Yeah, correct? So the fact that they never told us of the side effects got me even thinking deeper, like, hey, there's got to be more to this, man. There has to be more, because they're preaching we are all in this together, we all stand together, we stick together. Yeah, all right, it sounds good, but it's not logical, is it? Look at our homeless stats. Look at all that. That could be fixed, but we don't do anything about it, So then it makes you start to think, like, who actually put the governments there? Why are they, like, who put them there, I sure as shit didn't, But I never voted either, right? Okay? Because we didn't know much about running the country, because I sure as shit knew nothing about politics until I probably started to watch the news about 2 years ago, when I started to get interested in my community, because I was now trying to fit back in. So I started to look around and take notice of what actually is going on in the world. Now, like I said, you only hear the good and the bad, but it's always to suit an agenda. It always is. I've sat on the bad side of the coin for a long time. I've seen the dark side. A lot of people ask me about the dark side, and then when I tell them stuff, they're just like, whoa, really? Like, shit. Just because you haven't gone through anything or you haven't experienced it yourself, that doesn't mean that the things you hear are not true. All right? That is narrow-minded. Once again, tunnel vision. Just because nothing's got in your lane, you can't see it. And that phrase, stay in your lane, you don't know what you're talking about, this and that. Nah, No, you don't stay in your lane at all. You take them down and you go everywhere. You investigate. It's your right as a human to investigate everything. Correct? Right. Now we get back to, you got the two main parties, right? How do we know that they aren't working together? Because if one says black, the other one will say white. If one says yes, the other one will say no. They straight oppose each other. So they've got the whole thing, the whole problem's covered, the good and the bad. And then they'll turn it around every now and then, and it'll be bad and the good, you know? And then you've got all these smaller parties, right, that are trying to get in to Parliament. But there's always that thing that's thrown around like it's just too hard for the smaller parties. Well, who made the bigger parties who they are? I didn't. I don't think you did, yeah? Who's in charge? Do you know what I mean? Who put them there? Why? I don't need to be told what to do, right? We are free to live whatever we want, free to live however we want to live, as long as it's not hurting anybody else, you know? But yet we've got people that can tell us what we can and can't do. Go and get the jab. Like I said, I have one dose. But until I started to dig deeper at our government and how actually corrupt they are bullshitting to us. They are not there for us. If they were there for us, you've got the upper class, you've got the lower class. That's it. There is no in between. You're either up or you're down, right? The lower class, meaning 95% of Aotearoa, the lower class, we're getting slowly left behind. We're getting slowly left behind. More and more people are falling out of their houses into the streets because it's too hard to live. Why? The government could stop that. They could go and build heaps of tents and go and throw them all in, start them with something, you know? These people now have nothing. Yeah, it's been slowly pulled away from them, you know? And it's been slowly pulled away from us. But we're too narrow-minded. We can't see the bigger picture. You've got to look past this whole COVID shit. You've got to look past that. You've got to, and a lot of people will laugh at this. And I don't really care because the seed will be planted off this. So, you know, I challenge you to have another look at this again and just think, man, he's got some points. Like, who invented money? Why was money invented? Whose money to serve? Was it like you play Monopoly and we all started with the same amount of money? No, we didn't. Who makes the money? Who's in charge of the money? Who's in charge of all the big corporations? Who's in charge of all this stuff? People are slowly waking up and are speaking out, but they're getting labeled conspiracy theorists. Why? Why can't people have the right to have their voice heard? You know, no matter where it is. If, like, as time's going on, us humans are getting smarter, correct? I sure as shit know that I am, you know? And when you've walked on the dark side, like I said, people in high places, the people in power that are meant to look after us, I know firsthand are corrupt. Firsthand, mate. I've seen it with my own eyes. Just because you take an oath to serve and protect the people, do you think they're going to serve and protect the people? Come on, man. We are all the same. Just because you say, oh, I solemnly swear that I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, you walk out that door and forget about it, mate. Yeah? Humans are sneaky. Humans lie. Humans are for self-gain. I've seen it everywhere that I have traveled in this short time that I've spent on Earth. I have seen it. Now, label me what you want. I see it for how it is, and I see it because I look and I investigate myself. And yes, oh, but your stuff's not back, rara. The stuff that is back and apparently credited by who? The government sites. It's all linked back to one. We are linked. We are being used. We are being used. And we are following the rules to suit who? To suit who? Because I would love to smoke marijuana, but I'm not allowed. Why? Who are you to tell me I can't smoke? It's my body. It's who are you? You know? I know firsthand that people that have been through traumatic stress, that it helps them. But people that don't smoke will be quick to turn around, oh, that's just another drug, it's just this and that. Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Who made up all these things that it's drugs and this and that? I didn't. You didn't. So why are we going with the flow? Why are we being sheep? You know, I'm not saying let's go out there and cause violence. No, I don't like violence no more. But as humans of Aotearoa, we need to stand up for our rights. We need to stand up and be heard. We need to come together as a collective and go and start knocking and asking some questions. Hey, why is this happening? Why is that happening? You know, give us some answers, because I know that I have a lot of questions, and I will sit down with anyone from Parliament and I will ask some questions, but I want direct answers. It's not hard to tell the truth. It's hard to bullshit and lie. And that's the reason we don't get the questions, is because they don't know how to confront the truth. They just don't. Believe it or not, our government, they are puppets, mate. They are puppets for a higher power, for a higher being. I'm telling you now, you know. And this might get fucking taken down. I don't really care. But as long as I know that when the time comes, because it's coming, whānau, I 100%. And to tell you the truth, I hope I'm wrong. I would love to do another post in a year or two's time and say, far out. How wrong was I, whānau? Like, stupid me, yeah? I hope this is not right. But I feel and hear that it is, you know? And a lot of people say, I take more than street smarts and all this, you know, PhDs. I'm not saying nothing is true or false about the COVID. I believe the virus is here. I believe the virus is real. To the extent that they're making out that we need to get vaccinated so we need to vaccinate everybody to keep us safe, but yet it's proven overseas, and doctors are coming out and speaking now saying that the vaccine is actually rubbish. It was good for the first one, but it's mutated and gone around it now. It no longer works. Viruses mutate, right? And I'm not a doctor either, and I'm watching what I'm seeing on the good and the bad, because there's always three sides to a story. There's the truth, there's the lie. Well, there's two sides, and somewhere in the middle, that's where your truth is, right here, right? It works with everything in life. If you've got one guy saying he crashed into that car and another guy saying, no, he didn't, somewhere in between, you're going to find out the truth, right? That's the same. Don't just take somebody's word for it because they say something. Don't take my word for it. Go and have a look yourself. Go and have a look online. Go and have a look at stuff. You know? Oh, but it's conspiracy. It's easy to say it's a conspiracy theory and to fob it off. But you haven't even looked at it. So how do you know what you're fobbing off until you look at it? You know? It makes sense, whānau. You know? And this post is just I'm not here to make your mind up. I'm here to say, wake up, have a look properly, and make your own decision. Stop following the pack. It's history repeating itself. Look at Hitler. Led millions to the slaughter. Do you think if they had known that they were going to walk to the slaughter, they would have walked in single file line? No, of course they wouldn't. That's what we're doing. We are doing the same thing. Are we not? Correct me if I'm wrong. I would love to hear the feedback. Yeah, but start thinking outside here. Open this, take your blindfolds down, man. Start having a look, you know. I was narrow-minded when I was in the gang world. This is shit, this is how my life's going to be, oh man. This is just how it is. Once I started to know inside that I could have more and started taking this down brick by brick, and you start seeing the world like, whoa, you're now no longer, you're not crazy. You think outside, like, narrow-minded is absolutely crazy. To be open-minded, you know, to find your truth, because there's truth amongst it. If somebody's trying to make your mind up for you, why? Why are they doing that? You know, you're free to make your own mind up. I'm free to make my own mind up. This is to say, have a look. Do your own research. Yeah. Anyway, whānau, I just wanted to share that. And yeah, love, light, and happiness, man. But like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I would love to eat humble pie. I love to eat humble pie. But I know how the world works. And the world is not all sunshine and rainbows, man. It is not. It is not. So yeah, love, light, and happiness. And we'll talk soon, whānau, because there'll be heaps more posts soon.